you've talked about like how Indian economy will grow and how digital will be a big part of it. Maybe share your thoughts on how you see perhaps this economy thrive in the next 10 years.
As we are speaking, President Trump has arrived in Ahmedabad, and the India that he will see in 2020 is very different from the India that either President Carter saw or Clinton saw when he came in 2020, or even Obama, right? We are having millions of people on the street, each one of them having their own personal experience with their phones, and the network strong enough. And I think I can easily say that the mobile networks in India now are better or at par with anybody else in the world. And that's the big change. When he reaches the stadium, right, and you talked about stadium, the infrastructure in that stadium in terms of digital is better than any other place in the world. So that is the India as we start in 2020. 1992, when you joined Microsoft, right? India was $300 billion. Today, India is $3 trillion. And fundamentally, right, this whole progress, right, in a certain way has happened on the back of technology. In the early days, it was Rajesh's TCS, Infosys, and all of them who drove technology in India. And that really kick-started with with all the economic reforms, kick-started this whole growth paradigm. It was supercharged in 2014 when Prime Minister gave us the vision of Digital India. Just to share with you and the audience, pre-Jio, right, we had 256 kbps, which we called broadband in India. And post-Jio, we now have 21 Mbps on mobile data as the average speed available in every single village in India.
That's amazing.
Pre-Jio, price of data in this country was between 300 and 500 rupees. And for the poorest of poor, right, who used 2G, the price was as high as 10,000 rupees a GB. Post-Jio, the price is between 12 and 14 rupees a GB. 38 crore people, 380 million customers have migrated to this 4G technology. And that tells you the enthusiasm in the youth of India, the enthusiasm in consumption in India, and the enthusiasm even in my mother, who's 85 years old, and the amount of time she spends, right? So in your language, she has the greatest tech intensity and tech adoption. So I think that's really what has happened. So consumption has also gone up, and this has really become a people's movement. And when you then talk about the financial sector, right? We just introduced UPI, and with digitization in December, right, we had 100% growth, and total UPI transactions in this country digitally were 2 lakh crores. So what has happened is that because we've got infrastructure, right, we are accelerating, and we are just at the beginning of this whole journey.
You also have an ambition to say, what can you do for small businesses, medium businesses, large, because you're now even saying, okay, how do we, in fact, our partnership in some sense is about how do you take what I talked about, combine it with your domain expertise, your technology, and completely change even the landscape of broad sectoral change.
Reliance was founded as a startup, even before startups became, like my father founded Reliance with a table and a chair and 1,000 rupees. It was 5 decades ago. It then became a micro industry, then it became a small industry, medium. Today, you can consider us large. Right? Every small business and entrepreneur, right, has the potential in India to become a Dhirubhai Ambani or a Bill Gates. And that is the power, that is what differentiates India from the rest of the world. I think that the entrepreneurial power that we have at the grassroots is enormous. And what this decade will offer, right? And if we even see the opening balance of small, medium, and micro enterprises, right? We have to realize that for India, they really provide 70%, even without any enablement, right? They provide 70% of India's employment. They drive 40% of India's export.
Yeah.
And they are critical to all the economic activity that we see. And they have done this, again, with zero technical enablement and adoption. So the opportunity there is to really go from no technology, no digitization, and really pole vault to adopt. The mindset exists, right, to really propel India forward. And that is even a bigger opportunity than the consumer piece that we have seen in the last few years.
When you now leading this organization, look out, what sort of drives you? What inspires you? What is it that you would like to see happen?
The opportunity that we have for India really is the opportunity to become the premier digital society in the world. I think with all the components that are coming in place, right, as we grow and march forward, right, I have no doubt in my mind that we will become among the top 3 economies in the world. Right? 20 years ago, we were saying, okay, where will India be? Now I think that if you talk to anybody, there is no doubt in anybody's mind. We can argue about whether it will happen in 5 years or 10 years, but it's going to happen. And we will be in the top 3 economies in the world. When that happens, right, our opportunity is, will we be the most technically enabled society? Will we be having all our development enabled by all the tools of technology? Can we really be a pace setter in terms of using all technology? And again, what our Prime Minister says is, can we then use technology for businesses so that businesses have ease of doing business, but we then in partnership deliver ease of living for every citizen of India and build a society that is equal, has ethics, and really gives equal opportunity to empower everybody to find their potential. And that, I think, in the coming 2 decades, right, is the opportunity that India has. What next generations of India will see is a very different India.
In fact, one thing that Akash will sort of really be on me if I don't mention is even gaming. I think in the next decade, you may become a gamer.
That's difficult, but I think that Akash is very excited in terms of India. Like, gaming doesn't really exist in India, and with everything that we're doing in xCloud and our broadband connectivity, right, I think that there is huge potential, and for some of us who don't know what gaming is, right, it's very hard to imagine that gaming will be bigger than music, movies, and TV shows all put together. But we will see.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mukesh.